I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too sharp, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
What's up? Lay Ill Kid at When You're So Holding Down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, another wonderful episode of On Screen. If I could, I would like to start this out by giving a shout out to Blurtish133 Art. Give a shout out to Gift, the homie Clement Bryant. There's people out there doing their thing, just making me proud to see them shine right now. We here on Rings of Power, episode 5, Partings. I want to start this by saying that everybody seems to be using everybody on this show. Now, if you're brand new, make sure, come through, put your feet up, let's relax, get ready to talk about some Rings of Power. We got some folks coming through. Solar Grave will be back through here a little bit later. We also got Jay Shearer coming through. So we're going to have a lot of fun today and maybe even see Gift as well. Let's see, what do we... Oh! And big shout out to the homie Theon from Black Star Collectibles. I was kicking it with him yesterday for a couple seconds. Much support to him. Homie is the dopest. He's awesome. So, with that said, you know what I'm saying? Matt, hey, look, with somebody already just jumped through, we do have Solar Gray coming, but right now, right over here, I'm going to let him introduce himself. Mr. Jay Shear.
Hey, what's up? It's always good to talk to you, Michael. And we still have these crazy Rings of Power shows that we got to talk about. So
yes, I do want to. If anyone in the chat knows how many episodes this season has, because this has a very kind of like mid-season-y feel. Like the last 2 episodes have a very mid-season-y feel. Like we're about to get things, about to get things going, like about to get it popping in the right direction. But I'll throw this off to you about your feelings with it. does it seem that everybody is using everybody in this show?
The answer is yes. Everybody's using somebody else for some other reason than they agreed to do something for, which I guess is, adds to the conflict, adds to the intrigue about what's going on. But
True.
the one thing I will say though, and I want to get your take on this, maybe there's just too much content, because we have Andor now, which I need to have you on to talk about Andor for sure. I'm loving Andor.
I'm probably going to do that on Saturdays, but I had to move Atlanta to yesterday this week. So Andor will probably be my Saturday show, maybe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm watching Andor, I'm watching House of the Dragon, and I'm watching Rings of Power. And man, I'm having a hard time remembering what happened in the last shows. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a second. What happened?
Hold up, did Andor kill the dragon? No,
that's right. exactly. But yeah, no, this was a good episode. I like this episode. Everyone's using each other, like you said, and there's like lots of intrigue about what people are really up to, which I think is good, right? Like, I like, what are people really up to? We're getting a little bit more, and I think we needed that to ground us in this show. We needed to know what people were up to, because in this show it's kind of like there's lots of. I was watching this other creator, and he's like, it's all just drone shots. I'm like, that's pretty funny. It's a lot of drone shots, but it is kind of like, well, where are we going with this? I will say this though. I don't know how you feel about this. It is the best use of a map in a television show.
Yeah, this really helps me figure out like kind of like where things are. Exactly. I really like the use of the map.
Yep, I love it.
Especially being someone who's trying to learn more about Lord of the Rings and the Tolkien universe and all that. It does help me figure out, okay, cool. This is where this is. This is all the way over here, and that's all the way to the west and stuff like that. I will say, how much time has passed? Because the Harfoots are like, I don't know what, like 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. But it showed all that walking going on. I was like, so what is this, like 6 months later? Like,
yeah, 3 years later, they made it. They made it to Middle Earth.
So I don't know where they're, but I will say I enjoyed the Harfoot storyline much more this episode than any other episode. I also like the description of the migration pattern and why. Yeah. Because at first it just seemed like these are just nomads that just like go around wherever they want just because. And now it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You're like, one, you're kind of like following the harvests or the food, and you're also kind of like running away from predators as well as you leave each spot. So I was like, cool, makes sense. Yeah. And we all knew that little girl was not in trouble. I did think the old lady might have got it though. That old lady, the cackling hens, I guess, were saved one another day. But, that's right. But I was like, whenever someone says, don't go too far or stay close or don't get out the car or anything, and you do that, it's trouble.
Yeah, always trouble. Always trouble. Can you imagine if it wasn't trouble? Then it'd be the most boring show ever. Don't go over there, and then you do it, and nothing happens. It's like okay.
Well, that's what happens when kids disobey in Hollywood. That's why it's like, hold on. Like, yes, I know we don't want to show like a violent mauling of a kid, but it's like. Like you can't, the consequences can't be like everything for adults and like nothing for kids.
Yes.
But they did say the old lady. They like got her to the tree and everything.
Yeah. So she should have a much better attitude because she has had an attitude problem about that family.
Yes, she wants that I don't know why she be hating so much.
I know, it's crazy.
We gotta find out. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Okay, maybe that guy was married to her back in the day, right? But left her for the new one. All right, you know what I'm saying? Left her for the new one, and then boom, there we go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. I don't know. I have no idea. Is she she is not letting that thing go. And then they're like far from the pack because they're, they're like way behind him. So I mean, I guess they caught up, but I mean, still, they're like way behind the pack.
Yeah.
So I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Like, she just really hates them.
Yeah, she totally does. She totally does.
Even though we also knew. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I am interested when Solar comes on. We have to ask him about what language the stranger is speaking, because he just starts like muttering off in all these languages. I'm like, what is this guy saying? Like, what is he like
freezing the water, slash his arm? But I guess he's also kind of healing his arm while he's freezing it. I don't know. Because his arm looked like it was messed up. Then he froze it. Then it looked better. And then, but her hand was freezing too. And when she blew away, I was like, okay, so we're about to see a girl with no hand, right? Because as frozen as it was, it would have broke off like T2. Nope. Hand's still there.
I thought it was weird.
People were like, do you want kids to get hurt? I'm like, no. Just don't make that situation for the kid.
Yeah, there's got to be consequences. I am interested in understanding a little bit more about why that scared her so much, because she's been like the defender of the stranger and been like, no, he's good, he's all good. And then that one little thing, like, I get it. She's like, worried about herself or whatever. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, but isn't this your expectation? Like, you knew this guy was kind of dangerous. He's done like
tons of magical stuff that he can't really control.
Yeah.
Also, maybe this happened off screen, but I know she was having a one-on-one talk with the stranger, but as an adult, we need to talk to him because he's about to go on this trip with us. I don't know him like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, right. He's okay. He fell from. I'm going to need to talk to him one-on-one. All right, a one-on-one talk.
That's right.
Before we go anywhere with your crazy self, walking around looking crazy. Well, I mean, I guess they look crazy too because they got like grass and stuff in their hair. So I guess everybody look crazy. So maybe he doesn't look crazy. Maybe he just look regular. But all I'm saying is the adults are going to have to talk to this guy about certain expectations.
Yes.
Now, when the wolves showed up, we all knew like the big guys coming in. The big guys.
That's right. That's right.
He just body slammed the wolf. You know what I'm saying? Where's Peter when you need him?
Yeah. Now, do you think? Okay, so this was episode 5, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think after 5 episodes, do you think he is more likely to be Gandalf or less likely to be Gandalf?
I think less. Maybe.
I agree. Yeah.
Because I'm guessing maybe this is a new character. I mean, I still have 2 more movies to watch to see all the movies, but I know there's tons of stuff that's in written form that I just haven't seen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think maybe it's some new character, especially when they showed the people that are tracking him, I guess. Yeah. I looked at the ears of the guy that had the helmet that was standing above the little like the dirt impact or whatever. He didn't have elf ears. The other person's ears were covered. And then the crazy kid that looked like, you know what I'm saying, he looked like, look, if he goes to your school, like just y'all might want to tip somebody off about this kid. Like, I'm not, I know things, I know there's a trial going on right now in Miami, but all I'm saying is like, y'all might want to tip somebody off around that kid. When he turned around, I was like,
Malnourished Eminem. Malnourished Eminem. He's like, dude, give Eminem a hamburger. He might be less evil.
It's like let him eat cake. Like, but
that's right.
But when I saw him, I'm like, okay, so seemingly bad guys are chasing him. Like, it's pretty clear. So if bad guys are chasing him, I'm guessing he's good. But maybe he's a good guy, but just forgot he was good because, of course, he's the amnesia character that's essentially like the nuke. Yeah. I did like that he kind of, I guess reconciled with himself about how dangerous he is.
Yeah.
Because he even called himself Peril, which, could be true, couldn't be true. I mean, he doesn't really. It's weird when he doesn't really know who he is or what he can do, and it's just all off of emotion. I mean, it's not, I guess you can't say it's malicious, but if someone gets hurt, they're still hurt. In result, whether it's malicious or not,
Right.
This still hurts. So I guess I can see where he's coming from, but then, she wants to be like, no, you're not peril. You're okay. And then of course she's like, oh, don't touch me. You
Yeah.
froze my hand. You brought this guy. Remember
Yeah.
your friend that stayed back for you? And she told you leave him alone. Nah, I know what I'm doing.
That's
So
right.
so don't be rolling away now.
That's right. That's right.
This is your problem.
Now, which movies have you not seen yet? Which you said you have 2 to go?
Two Towers and Return of the King. Those are the last
Okay,
two movies I need to see.
Okay.
So-
Cool. So the last one you saw was Fellowship.
Yeah.
And
And
then
I watched all the Hobbits, and now I watched Fellowship, and I still got to watch Two Towers and Return of the King.
And so the last you see of Gandalf at that point is he faces the Balrog, right?
Yeah. He faces the Balrog, and he dies. Well, you think he dies because I know he doesn't die because I've seen the trailers for the other movies. So I mean,
Right.
I mean, that's the difference between, since these movies are like almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Since I've seen images and stills and trailers of the other, it's like, well, he's not dead. So maybe
right.
maybe he goes into purgatory and has to fight his way out. I don't know. I'll find out later. But
Yeah, and you need to ask Solar about it too, because there's more lore than is in the movies. Yeah. So just that's one thing I know. It's kind of like knowing you knowing that is kind of like knowing that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad. You know what I mean? Like I know it. It doesn't change the story, but I know it. Like I know that's there. He's gonna he comes back. But they showed a Balrog in this episode too.
Yeah, I know more.
Yeah. That's right. But they also showed the Balrog in this episode, which I thought was awesome. That shot of the Balrog when apparently the good and evil are fighting over the tree, the elf tree. That was pretty cool, man. They should do a whole show on the Balrog. This whole spin-off show.
That would be, especially when it's is it a Balrog or are there numerous Balrogs?
Good question.
Because I guess that's the same Balrog that fights Gandalf in the future, I guess.
I don't know. We have to ask Solar. I'm not even sure.
Because I mean, he still has a whip, unless they all have whips. That's their
thing.
Their weapon that they use. I have no idea.
They're secret Indiana Jones fans. Hey,
yeah,
let's get together and get some whips.
I do want to ask you about Isildur. Well, no, I want to make a statement about Isildur first.
Okay.
People, there comes a time in your life when you realize that a friend of yours really hasn't been your friend. They've just been using you your whole life. And it's time to cut them off. Isildur is that friend. He never was your friend. You look back and you're like, yeah, this person has used me ever since. I mean, we've hung around each other since we were 10 or 12, but this person has always used me. Always. And yeah, when he came up and he won the bet from the other guy, he was like, I wouldn't have accepted on the first thing. He was like, I knew. He was like, I knew it. He was like, you're a user. He was like, you might even be my best friend. He was like, hey. He was like, you're a user. I knew you were going to be here. I knew it. And I don't even know if he should be upgraded to lieutenant because she said score flesh. And that was a piece of shirt. So
yeah.
And it took 6 of y'all. So
yeah.
I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that's right.
Shouts out to Geeky Andre and Clement Bryant. Yo, Clement, look, if you're watching this show, holla at me. But I'm it took 6 of them. How does he get promoted? Because he kind of stunk it up for a while and barely touched her.
Yeah.
I mean, but everybody cheered for mediocrity, so I guess. Well, now hold on. Let me take it back. It's not mediocre. She's an elf. She's probably 272 years old versus a 17-year-old kid. It's not. I mean, It's not like, even when she said, I'm like, hold up, this isn't fair. Dude is like 16, 17.
Yeah,
You're like 202. Like, this is not, it's not fair. Like, the amount of battles you've been through, it's not a 1-to-1. What are you talking about? So I don't know if I can give them that, but the fight
especially
scene was
because
cool.
how do you choose who gets lieutenant? Because maybe it was the actions of one of the other people that allowed him to get, you know what I mean? Like, we've been able to do it on his own. Maybe someone else was smarter and he just got the blow. I don't know.
Yeah, like the one that made the distraction so that he could get the blow and all that stuff. So yeah, it was a nice scene, but if any of you guys have seen this movie that I'm about to reference, watching this scene made me want to watch. It's not their fault, but it made me want to watch a better scene, a better sword fighting scene in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh.
When Michelle Yeoh's character comes up against the young girl in the weapons armory, and she's like, "That's not your sword. Give it back." Yeah. And they have that long fight sequence when she uses all the weapons up against the girl. That I was watching, I was like, you know what? I really want to watch that scene.
Yeah, that's awesome. Or the Kill Bill scene, like the one scene where she walks into the I don't know if it's like
blood is everywhere.
Yes. That one, that was nuts. Yeah, and all the different fighters have all the different weapons. Like, that's pretty dope too. But I mean, you can't have that in Lord of the Rings. That would be madness.
It's
Quentin Tarantino.
These are kids. You can't kill the kids. They have to actually go to the. So you just tap them on the head with the sword. That's all.
It would have been a different show if Gladriel was like chopping off limbs. That would have been a different show.
Like, this is your lesson. Let this be your lesson. Like, but I'm supposed to go to war. You're gonna work harder.
Good luck.
So
here, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you. So the one thing I was a little confused about, and I'm wondering how you felt about it, was I felt like in the last episode, Isildur was like, "Hey, you're in." Like, remember, because he volunteered. Maybe it was episode 3, but he volunteered. He's like, "Oh, I'm in. I'm going." Right. Yeah. And then it seemed like everything was good to go. He was in. And then this episode, he did have the whole incident with the boat exploding because that other idiot was trying to explode. I don't even know why that guy was actually trying to blow up the boats. I mean, like, I get it. Like, his dad or whatever is.
I guess he was trying to start like an incident between those two, or I don't know, or either that, or just stop the occupation, or stop the campaign as a whole.
Which is weird because his dad just told him, like, it's fine, like, let it happen because we're gonna take over the elves anyways. So I just felt like it was a weird thing to do. Like, why would you do that? But then, so then at some point in time between Isildur volunteering and then Isildur blowing up the boat, he got kicked out of the group because they're like, no, you're not coming with us. Like, even though you volunteered, I guess you're out. So I didn't understand that.
Well, I mean, I guess just because you're a volunteer doesn't mean that we have to take you. You know what I mean? So I guess, and to me, I was like, his dad probably stepped in and was like, "Oh, no. No. Yeah. I'm not going to let, because, you don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
This is just a game for you.
Yeah.
And you don't really care about this stuff.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, because there's some glory to be had, maybe, now all of a sudden, here you come, like, I'm gonna put my hand up too. It's like, no, like, no, you're not allowed. And the funny thing is, when he was coming to the friend that was now the lieutenant, I was like, you know what? Let him on, but force him to be a janitor. And that's what ended up happening. That's what happened. Yeah. I'd be like, okay, you can come on, but you have to be a janitor. He would be like, well, I'd be like, I can't put you in a position where you can screw us up.
Yeah.
So no, if you want to be on this boat, you're going to have to be a janitor. But when we saw him, stowing away, I was like, oh, okay, I figured. But hey, man, look, depending on how far you are, they might be like, you can swim back.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, put you right back in the water. Go on.
That's right. Get out of here. If Galadriel did it, you can do it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. So
So-
here's what's weird. Here's what's weird, I think, about Isildur's character overall is that,
Right.
remember, there was in episode 2 or 3, I think it was 2, they were on the boat and then they were passing by that one island area, and like the voice was talking to him about wanting to go over there, and then he screwed everything up on purpose, almost like, oh yeah, I want my destiny to be like doing this other thing. But then ever since that time, so one, I'm unclear about like what exactly that's about, right? There's some sort of like, because you've seen
seems like a entity is speaking to him, sort of, or guiding him.
Yeah, which we've only seen the one time, but you've seen Isildur because you saw the or maybe this doesn't happen till a later movie. Have you seen Isildur yet in Fellowship?
In Fellowship, it's his, isn't it Isildur's like ancestor or descendant or whatever, or is that him?
I think that's him, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it's
because I was wondering because when I was watching it, I was wondering, is this an ancestor or is this a descendant that cuts off the fingers?
Yeah. I think it's I want to say that it's him, but I'm not I'm not positive. We have to ask Solar to be absolutely sure. But anyways, the part that I'm unclear on is like, definitely he has some like kind of destiny that he's supposed to do. And then he's like waffling about whether or not he's going to do the destiny or like go to battle with his fellow people. But the part that's weird to me is that we only know that one time where he's getting the message. So I want to hear more about that. I want to know more about, because I have a feeling that there's something that is based on what we see in the brief history of Middle Earth in Fellowship before that movie starts. If that's him, then we know that he like basically falls in love with power, and he falls in love with one of the rings. He receives one of the rings, which means that he could be under Sauron's control at any time, right? So like we know all that stuff. Well, I want to know like if there's a voice speaking to this dude that's going to put him in that position. That's like really interesting to me at that point, because we know where where he has the possibility of going, at least his descendants. So I'm kind of hope that they lean into that a little bit more and then get away from him being like this irresponsible guy who just doesn't know what he wants in life. He just wants to be respected. It's like, okay, but
all right.
Let's
and
see more.
Geeky Andre says, no, it is him. So it is the same guy, because the Numenor live longer than regular humans. So, because remember Solar was talking about how they got blessed or something because they was helping out the good guys or something. So all right, cool. So it is the same dude. So I guess we need the voices so that we know, okay, cool, this is how he gets over to Middle Earth. He probably ends up going over there on the boat, fighting whatever, and decides to stay.
Right.
And I guess the rest is history. Speaking of history, isn't it highly convenient that the hilt of the sword that you have is the hilt of the statue of the little like rock mountain that you at, the little hillside you're at? Isn't that extremely? I mean, man, that really helps.
That's true.
Yo, the old guy that was like, "Can I help? Can I show you?" Or the one that was like, he was like, "Hi, can I tell you about my Lord and Savior Sauron?" Dude is so slimy. Dude was like, "Are you Sauron? I'll serve you." Then he chokeslammed him, so he's probably not Sauron. Then
Sauron.
No matter who you are, I'll serve. I'm like, really? So we follow you, Mr. I'll follow anybody? I thought you had a plan. Your plan was just to bend the knee to anyone?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know that kid is dead too.
Yeah. That kid is dead.
Make your bond in blood. Or that little kid dead. Right. They cut the camera, but he ain't gonna be in episode 6. Right?
That's right.
He's done.
Yeah.
That kid is toast. No,
I agree. Yeah, that was interesting. Those scenes
what are all the other people like? None of the other people were like, hey, I thought you had a plan like that. Well, it's too late. Now you're surrounded by orcs with no weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, your move in that moment is to grab one of the orc swords and then kill that old guy. Be like, this old guy's crazy, bro. Like, whoever you are, we don't care about Sauron. Like, let's just follow
It's
you.
like, yeah, because there's nothing to do but follow them now because of the situation they're in. Even if they don't want to follow the orcs, it's too late.
That's right.
Like, you walked us into this, and then at least the boy didn't leave.
Yeah.
The mama's kid didn't leave. Now, also, what do you think about the mom being like, I guess, like the leader or the mayor? Because I'm like, they never positioned her as that. She seemed to be like someone who like lived there, but like, hey, I don't mess with y'all crazy people. I have my own cottage over here, and I'm chilling. Now all of a sudden she's like, hear me. Who wants to go home and who wants to go with me?
Not only that, but like
today also is our Independence Day. I got them. Look, man, I've seen tons of movies. I've got them all lined up.
I like that one. Today is our Independence Day. I like that.
The movie was good though.
Here's the thing too. I was kind of surprised because so elf guy comes back and the elf guy is like, hey, before you get too excited, they let me go. First of all, they let me go and they gave me a bunch of weapons. So I saved the kid. I come back to you. And now I'm going to tell you that you either have to pledge allegiance to maybe Sauron, whoever this guy is. And then, or you have to stand up and fight. I'm like, hey, there's some other options.
Can't we run?
Maybe just move. Like maybe just move. You're like, hey, look, but I don't like the way.
maybe the elf guy is like, okay, Arendir. All right, so Arendir is like, all right, look, hey, if we don't stand and fight now, like we are the last line of defense because I can't get a word to my elf warriors, the elf army or whatever, because it's not like I have like a carrier pigeon or something like that.
Right.
You know what? There's no mail. And matter of fact, you know what we needed in this scene? Him getting someone on a horse and say, look, ride that way. When you get to the elves, tell them there's an elf orc dude that's enslaving people. There's orcs running around underground and they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Where is the alert system for Middle Earth? Like nobody I've asked that question in one of my episodes that I have on about Lord of the Rings when I talk about Mordor. I'm like, okay, if the mountain's name is Mount Doom, and every time something happens, it comes from Mordor, why not have a couple of outposts where like people just be sitting there watching, making sure nothing go crazy, and if something go crazy, they're like, caca. And then everybody's like, oh snap, they're making more orcs. We gotta go over there and stop. Like, no, they're just like, well, just leave it over there. It'll be all right. No. We need the scene of him telling somebody, get on this horse, ride that way, find the elf. They're gonna get the rest of the elves to come over here and they're gonna fight.
Yes.
Like, tell them I sent you. Give them, you know this scene. Give them this pendant. They'll know it's me. then go, man. Come on.
That's right. Yeah, they got to figure it out. I'm wholeheartedly behind that plan. Like if we elect here, you're president, I'm vice president. We'll be president and vice president of Middle Earth.
of the early detection system. Exactly.
That's right. I like that.
When I find out something, I'm not going to have a quiet council meeting. No. Tell everybody, hey man, look, orcs are coming. Like just the British are coming. All right, just tell everybody.
I just think that there's other ways. There's third solutions, right? Because you got what's his name, Adar, right? The guy that we're not sure if he's Sauron or not. Mm-hmm. Adar is like he's standing in the sunlight. He's like, oh, this sunlight is amazing, and he calls out the orc, and he's like, it feels terrible to you, but don't worry, I'm going to plunge the world into darkness. Yeah. I'm like, maybe not plunge the world into darkness. Maybe like invent sunscreen. Like maybe there's maybe another way of going about this.
And then like we don't know Adar's backstory, because he was like, hey, look, all of the stories that you've been told are, lies have gone on for years before you were, you know what I'm saying? So, and maybe he has a point. Maybe he was someone who was done wrong or left to hang out to dry. Maybe this is kind of a Wrath of Khan type of storyline. Maybe that's it. Maybe he was an old warrior and they put him out to pasture without him knowing, or they set him up and they left him for dead. And now he's like, ha, you thought I was dead? I'm back. So maybe that's it. But, the whole, I'm going to plunge the world into darkness. How about you just like get those specific people back and then the rest of us can live? Like, because I didn't do anything. Well, I got to live in darkness.
Right.
I don't want to live in darkness. And these orcs, as you can see, should not live in the sunlight. You see their skin bubbling up. And then also, I'd have been like, Lord Father, I think you've made your point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, you know what? How come the orcs can't be in the sunlight, but that Eminem looking dude can be in the sunlight? Because that dude is pretty white. He has some pretty white skin. I think that guy probably needs some sunscreen too. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, and on top of that, weren't the orcs in sunlight in the Hobbit?
Well, they do make the wait, where are you at? Yeah, you've seen this.
In the Hobbit, Azog, they fight in the daytime. They were out there in the daytime. Yeah, when they went up against the mountain, the mountain that Thorin was in, whatever mountain that is, there was one that Smaug was in. When they go out, it's daytime and they outside. Maybe over time their skin gets used to sun, and then they can come out whenever they feel like it.
Maybe. I will say this though. I will say that Adar may be the most compelling character right now. I still like Arendir and the mayor lady. I don't know what her name is. I can't remember her name.
Like, because Arendir is kind of like the everyman that just got caught in the middle of some stuff.
Yes.
It was like, hey, hold on. Where are the people in this town? And then, but the thing is, when you ask that question, that's when you say, send word to such and such because a whole town has disappeared.
Yes.
Then you go to investigate.
Yeah. By the way, if you're going to come up with the protection system that you're talking about, like the monitoring system from Mordor, if anyone were going to be able to do that, the elves are out there building some technical marvels.
Yeah.
So why aren't they doing your system? I mean, come on.
And what about the seeing stones? Use the seeing stone to see Mordor. Be like, let me check in on Mordor today. Let me just see what's going on.
That's right.
And then, oh, okay, they're all right. Nothing crazy is going on. All right, fine. Yeah. And then, or the dwarves had the dwarf, because it's Mount Doom. It's a mountain. Right. Dwarves do mountains. That's all they do. Just be like, yo, dwarves, go over there and or like, I don't know, like listen to the mountain or something. There's got to be a way to.
There's options.
Yeah, there's options out there. There's options. I'm trying to help them out.
Yeah.
But the Adar definitely does not seem to be too keen on Sauron at all. But one thing I did enjoy this episode was the semi-dinner. Because the king starts in. I love how Thorin, not Thorin, man, I can't even think of his name now. Not Thorin.
The dwarf? Durin?
The dwarf prince.
Is it Durin?
Durin, yes.
Yeah.
So I love how Durin handles it, because the king is like, you're doing a lot of digging. You're digging so fast. And then Elrond is like, you remember, like, we live forever. So what seems fast to us is actually just normal, because we get years to ponder on something. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And he just learned that lesson because we reconnected with his friend. He's like, yo, you were gone for 20 years. Now, 20 years for an elf, it's like, oh, no, man, we just saw each other last week. It's like, no, man. You've been gone for 20 years. I got a wife. I got 2 kids. What's going on? One, they have to move faster. 2, why you all up in our business, man? Huh?
Yeah.
Don't worry about what we doing, all right? Yeah. Do you see us asking you about what you doing? Matter of fact, how you get this table? You know what I'm saying? He was like Killmonger in Black Panther when he was like, how you think you got these masks? How you think you got all these all these museum pieces. Huh? You think they paid a fair price? So I do like that he called out the table, and they gave him the table back.
Yeah,
they gave him
right.
the table. I was like, oh, okay. And respect. I have to give him some respect because at first I thought he was going to try to, break bad over the table, but not bad. It made me proud. Made me proud to see that.
The funny thing about that scenario to me was when I don't know whatever the head elf is, the main elf king, he turns to Elrond.
Gil-galad.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah.
Gil-galad.
That sounds right. That's right.
Sorry, the High King Gil-galad. Is it? Right. I guess there's like king levels. Well, I guess if you like the king of all the kings, and then there's like kings of their little sections. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess if there's a high king, there has to be a low king. So
you got to do it. You got to do it. But what I thought was funny was he goes to Elrond and he goes, "Those dwarfs found the mithril, didn't they?" And Elrond was like, "I promised I wouldn't tell." It's like, bro, that means yes.
You just told, man.
You just told. Like, it's obvious. Yeah.
Elrond, you're bad at keeping secrets. Where's the elf secret school? Y'all lived this long? And your answer is, "I swore an oath not to tell." You just told. This is all right. So all right, pretend you're Gil-galad. I'm Elrond. Ask me about the mithril.
Yeah. Where is this mithril, Elrond?
Mithril? What's that?
Yeah. It's this magic thing that's ruining our tree. If we get it, if we don't get it, it's gonna our tree's gonna be ruined.
This tree? What's wrong with the tree? now we talking about the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, if I'm gonna keep it real, if I ever end up in like court and like a lawyer's like, "What happened yesterday?" Yesterday? Yes, what happened yesterday? What time yesterday? What happened yesterday in the afternoon? We talking about 1 p.m. or 4 p.m.? Look, we're never getting to the answer, man. We're not
That's right.
Look, why are you doing this? You were with John. John who? Your friend John. Is he really my friend? You hang out with him all the time. He might be an associate.
Yeah.
We're never getting to the mithril, man. We're never,
that's right.
I swore an oath. So basically the answer is yes. Thank you.
The answer is yes. Yeah.
And then it was like, I can't break my oath. Actually, you can do this without breaking your oath. You go back to Jordan. Yo, man, look, the king told me this. They used me this whole time. I apologize, but they were using me because apparently this rock is super duper special. Could you talk to them about it? Boom. Now you're not breaking your oath. Durin is going and talking to him about it.
Exactly.
Great. Or Durin's dad, I don't know, Florin, whatever. They always be having rhyming names. All right. Yeah, so I don't know, whatever his daddy name is, he can talk to the High King and then they can work it out. And then you ain't gotta use me no more.
Yeah, exactly. Elrond is he's not, deceit is not his, it's not his game, because he couldn't, he was trying to deceive Galadriel in the beginning. Oh, you're getting an all-paid vacation. Like it's cool. You've done everything you needed to do. She's like, wait a minute, I haven't done that much. He's like, no, you've done enough. You're amazing. This guy is not. That's not his strong suit, man.
Now, at the same time, they were essentially sending her to heaven. Things could be worse. You know what I mean?
True.
Things could be worse. They could be like, where you're reassigned to where? To like, I don't know, like to Alaska. And they're like, oh, you mean like downtown Alaska? No, We reassigning you to the tip of Alaska, all the way in the coldest waters, in the coldest frigid air, and it's like one hut, and that's all you get.
We're assigning you. Here's the lawn chair. We're assigning you to look at Mount Doom, and you give us a call if anything happens with Mount Doom. That's where you're going.
You know what? That would be like, you know what? You believe so much in this. How about this? We giving you a new post. Where is it? Mount Doom. That's where you're gonna be. Just sit over there and look over there. If you see something, you let us know.
Yeah,
Here's your personal pigeon, and send us the pigeon when something happens.
That's right. Exactly.
So yes, he definitely did a bad job at trying to get his deceive on. But she was going to a good place. It's like,
Yeah.
where am I going? Oh, I'm going to like Hawaii, and I'm gonna sit on the beach and like just drink out of coconuts forever. Like that's all I'm going. Oh, okay, great. This sounds awesome. She was like, no, I must struggle against the dark. Right?
Yeah. I must admit though, sometimes I fall into that like that Galadriel mode myself, where people are like, "Oh, you achieved that thing. Like you should celebrate about that." I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm on to the next thing." Because this, I'm
the next thing.
I'm working on other stuff, man. They're like, "Come on, dude, you need to celebrate for a second."
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah.
I do get that. You know what? It's a good point. I'll ease up on Galadriel, except for the fact that she straight lied on Halbrand's name like 3 times. Like, oh yeah, he can't wait to be king. He's like, I don't want to be king. And then the queen was like, maybe y'all need to work y'all out before y'all come up in here. Y'all got me getting boats and people and stuff, and y'all don't even know. But it did work out. It did all work out. I want to say one of my favorite lines is from the Numenor story, when the kid that set the boat on fire, that blew the boat up.
Oh yeah.
He's talking to, is that his dad or his uncle? I think it's his dad. But
one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, and chat will let me know. He said, sometimes the folly of youth is like enough to make a grown man cry or old man cry or something. I was like, wow. He just said, you're so stupid, I want to cry. Like, I'm not even angry about how stupid you are. It just brings intense sadness.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
man.
hilarious.
He was like,
that's hilarious.
He was like, you're so dumb. I don't even know where to start. And I mean, he's right. He's like, yo, leave it alone. Everything's fine. Like, she wants to go to war for this. I want to go to war for that, but we both want to go to war. So why don't we just work on this?
Yep.
Then we'll have this under control, but the boy just don't, the boy don't let. And then when they blow up the boat and they get back on the shore, Isildur's dad is there and he's like, oh, there was a cask or something. His dad was like, huh?
That's right. What's going on? Yeah. I also thought,
because I'm like, how are y'all out in the water so fast? And what y'all doing out here at night? What y'all night fishing?
Oh, totally. And why I'm not sure why Isildur, like, why did he bail that guy out too? He had no reason to bail him out.
Yeah,
he could have just been.
He could have just said, I saved him, but he blew up the boat. There was no reason. Maybe because he knows. I mean, I guess he knows who he is, so maybe he.
That's true. Maybe he didn't want to
like incur the wrath of his dad or something. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But I thought for sure he was going to be like, this idiot was trying to blow up these boats. You know what I mean? Like, because then it makes him look like the hero. Huh? Yeah. But I guess the other guy could have been like, he was stowing away, and then his problems for him. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, because he would have been like, well, yeah, I blew up the boat, but he was stowing away. Yeah, but stowaways don't blow up boats. Well, I mean, I guess they can, but just the sheer fact of stowing away doesn't explode.
You want to be on that boat. Yeah. That's funny.
His dad looked at him like,
yeah. He's like,
why do I feel like I'm not getting something up with this story that doesn't match?
Yeah. Did you talk to Elrond earlier? Did Elrond come up with this excuse? Because this is a bad excuse. Like, dude.
It's a bad excuse.
This doesn't make any sense.
And then we do get kind of a bit of a, maybe like a preview to, I guess sort of like a preview to the Queen's End, maybe, because her dad says, do not go to Middle Earth. All I see, or what I see, is darkness or whatever. I don't think she's coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think she's coming back.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna go out there and they're gonna get overrun and she's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Because
I totally agree.
We don't hear about her in the future unless she go. Well, I mean, technically, nothing in Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit goes on in Numenor. So maybe she just goes back to Numenor and everything's cool. And
or maybe maybe when she goes, maybe what happens is when she goes to Middle Earth, maybe something that Adar or Sauron is gonna do is what causes the tidal wave to wash over Numenor, and it just takes out Numenor. So it could be something along those lines. The thing so I actually liked this episode a lot, and I liked the Harfoot story a little bit better because there was a little bit more conflict there. It's still not great, but it's better.
Yes,
I really like the Adar story and the Arendir and the Mayor Lady story. I like that one. That's probably
the
my
Mayor
favorite.
Lady.
The Mayor Lady.
I mean, she's essentially the mayor now. I'm like,
that's right.
She seemed like she didn't even care about these people when we first meet her, and now she's I guess the spokesperson for, I don't know, Middle Earth. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she is the cleanest person in that city. If you look around, like,
you know what? She is the cleanest person in that city.
Yeah.
That's how Hollywood will do you. Hollywood will be like, okay, so since she's supposed to be the pretty lady, she can only be so dirty. Because it's like, hold up, where are you taking baths at? Why don't you? Why everybody else go where you go?
Exactly.
Why everybody all dirted up and crusty, and you sitting here fresh?
Exactly.
And your clothes is nice too. I guess everybody else is like, I don't need. Well, I mean, we've seen online now where people are saying, I don't need to wash my hands. No, yes, you do.
Yes,
right?
you do.
Like, I don't need to wash. Like somebody was talking about, like, they don't like bathe their kids, but like once a week. I'm like, what is wrong with is soap too expensive these days? Is that is the inflation coming to that? But
exactly,
look, man, just people just go down to the waterfall. There's a waterfall somewhere. In these kind of Lord of the Rings lands, there's always a waterfall. Put your shirt under there and flap it in there or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude, give the elves a few coins. The elves have like 12 waterfalls per city.
The elves do have tons of waterfalls. I'm like, where
waterfalls everywhere.
Do you have like a pump that's putting it back up? Like,
yeah, exactly.
How you get all these waterfalls?
Yeah. So okay,
all this gold and silver is like, how are you getting this?
Yeah, that's right. So the only thing I'll say is this is more of a negative comment, but it's not negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't understand it yet. The Galadriel story with everything that's happening in Numenor is the stuff that is either for me happening too fast, or it's happening in a way that I don't really like. I don't understand why Isildur is doing what Isildur is doing. Yeah. I don't understand why the Queen of Numenor was like, you're out of here, leave the city. And then like 2 days later, I mean, maybe it's 4 weeks later, I don't know how long it has been, but she's like, actually, no, let's take an army, let's go over there. Like, wait. Well, I don't understand.
Galadriel did kind of, I guess, convince her.
Yeah.
You know, for sake of story, I guess they had to hurry it up. But then the Harfoot, they're just taking their sweet time.
That's right.
They got time to deal with wolves and stuff, and I mean, essentially,
they're giving Gandalf or whatever
in the middle of those orcs, because we do see the preview for the next episode where everybody's like arming up and everything. So it looks like things are about to get popping next episode. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And the young Harfoot is teaching Duolingo to the stranger. Hey, this is how we talk, man. This is what's up. Hey, but I do have one thing that I found interesting. So do you remember back in, I think it was episode 1, the leader of the Harfoots had that scroll?
Yeah.
And on that scroll,
and he has a whole bunch of books and stuff too.
Yeah, he's got all these, and on that scroll, it was like, there was something on the scroll that was like indicating that I can't remember what it was. I don't remember the exact order of the hieroglyphics on the scroll. But did you notice on the scroll, if I remember correctly, it was like, I don't know if it was like a star of like the guy is going to fall to earth or whatever. But then it was like a
prophecy kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was followed by 2 wolf-looking things. Well, they met the one wolf in the farm because it attacked the kids in the farm. Okay. And then in Friday's episode, this last episode, episode 5, the warg showed up again, and then the stranger fought off those wolves. So I'm wondering if we're going to go back to whatever prophecies there, and that his little his little scroll is predicting what's going to happen. Like this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see if we see it
unless there's a bigger wolf thing that we haven't seen.
Yeah, true.
Maybe. And shouts out to Eon 001. I see. We'll holler at you later. I don't know. And Geeky Andre said he's glad to see the Numenorians finally set sail. So
yes,
because they did kind of put a lot of weight on that kind of prophecy thing early on. We've just been running around with kids going to get berries they ain't supposed to get, and the cackling hens talking about she needs to be, left behind or something like that. And it's kind of messed up. On one hand, they're right.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, like, look, she's a kid. You can't leave a kid by herself, and her dad got a broken foot. It's going to be what, like 6 months before that's right? 3 to 6 months before that's right? Come on, man. At least he's kind of hobbling, so we can put some weight on it. So, some time has passed. And of course, not only is this TV time, but it's also like Middle Earth time. So we really don't know how long has passed.
That's true.
Because in The Hobbit, I remember in The Hobbit, when he first leaves to go, when Bilbo first goes to go on his adventure, I'm like, well, who's going to watch your house? Because, like, how long is an adventure? And then when he gets back, they're selling his stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I knew. I was like, yo, like, who's going to pay the mortgage? Like, who's, like, I mean, I guess they don't have to pay mortgage because they're just, they're just living. But, I mean, he was gone for a year. What did you think? People going to be like, especially when people, they grimy apparently in the Hobbit world. Because most people be like, yo, man, that's Bilbo's house, leave it alone. Nah, they was having an estate sale. I guess they was like, yo, he dead. He ain't coming back.
Exactly.
Like, what a Hobbit going to do to a dragon, man? He's dead. He's gone.
That's right.
So, I don't know, guys. Hey, that's the episode. That's how we feel.
That's the episode.
I love action, so I want to get into the fight. But I'm guessing there's probably like maybe 10 episodes this season, because it kind of looks like we're going to start coming to a head soon. So maybe like 4 episodes left, or maybe like 3 or 4.
I think you're right on. I think it's 9. I want to say it's 9 episodes. I'm not positive about that, but this would have been the dead center episode. You know what I mean? Like, so
this does seem like 4 and 5 seem like the middle of the story.
Yeah, somebody else I was listening to said on the John Campea show, Robert said that this is like we've entered the 2 towers. So he's like, we already had the Fellowship, now we're entering the 2 towers. So that'd be the middle of the story, basically.
Cool. Well, of course, we had a good time. Shouts to Clement Bryant, Geeky Andre, Eon 001, people getting their lurk on. Jay, where can people find you? Where can they buy Time Slingers? Where can they buy wow, I just blanked on the new one. The Gunslinger.
Death of a Bounty Hunter, man. That's Bounty Hunter. So you can buy any of those wherever books are sold. I highly recommend the audiobook version of Death of a Bounty Hunter because we had a full cast read it. So we had 11 different voice performers voicing 14 different roles. Our friend Megan Salinas, she was one of the voices.
Wow, shouts to Megan, and her birthday just passed recently. So
that's right.
Happy birthday, Megan, and shouts out to you.
That's right. That's right.
And matter of fact, I'll get with you because I'm gonna get a copy of the audiobook, and I want a copy of the actual, because I have Time Slingers in my house. So.
Do you really? That's awesome.
Yes, I have a copy of Time Slingers. So,
that's cool. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, you need an audio. I'll send you. You can get an audiobook version of the of Death of the Bounty Hunter, no problem. You get to you get to check it out. But yeah, then also I posted my my Indiana Jones video over on the StreetGEEK YouTube channel, so you can go watch that over there.
Cool. I see you. So of course, guys, check that out. Indiana Jones. We did some talk on it. Look, he knows his stuff. So yes. So say bye.
Bye.
Say I love all y'all.
Love all y'all.
Say peace.
Peace.
All right. So NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. We got Andor coming sometime this week. I think I'm going to do it on Saturdays. But you never know. I'll be on a show with with Jay talking about Star Wars sometime, whenever it happens. Atlanta on Fridays. Of course, we have Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power on Sunday. And next up at 2 p.m. PST, I'll be talking about Blango, which is a new album from Architron. Next, which is like, I don't know, in 30-ish minutes or something, an hour or something like that. So anyway, from us to you, we got some dope comics, some dope beats. Say peace.
Peace.
You sure you ready to go?
Yeah.
You going give them your hand?
Yeah. You can't just buy some comics from 13 Art.
Yes, 133 Art. Okay. You can get and Black Star Collectibles.
And Black Star Collectibles.
Are you gonna give me? Oh, all right, get it right.
Are you gonna do it with me? You gonna do it with
oh, Jay, you gonna do it with him?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Hold on. All right, really? All right, and here's the real one. Oh man, okay, cool.
If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me.